Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and you cardboard sculptures out there. So first of all, if you have not designed your sculpture either in Blender or Onshape or on Fusion 360, make sure you do that. So figure out what you're going to make. Ask Mr. Miller if it's acceptable, and then continue on here. But so this is basically if you're done with your sculpture, and then what's the process for turning it into a cardboard sculpture. All right, so let's start. We're going to do Blender, then Onshape, then Fusion 360. So if you're in Blender, you're going to go into object mode. I have 3 objects. I only want one that I'm going to turn into a cardboard sculpture. And so I'm going to click on it in object mode again. And I'm going to go File, Export, and I'm going to export it as an STL. And then I'm going to look at all this stuff. I'm going to check this. I only want the one thing I selected. I don't want it to be bigger or smaller. It's fine how it is. And then there we go. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at where are we going to save this thing. So I'm going to go up. Okay, so I'm going to go up. Okay, I'm going to go into 3D design. I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it cardboard sculpture, unless you already have that. Okay, so I'm going to open that. What did I just do? Let's try that again. File, export, STL. I have no idea where I just saved it. Okay, so selection only. We're going to go into cardboard sculpture, and I'm going to give it a name, Holy Grail Cardboard. And then I'm going to export that STL. Okay, so now let's try something different here. Let's go to Onshape. So in Onshape, I would go to Oh, I'm sorry. I was wondering what's going on. I was actually in Autodesk. Okay, so let's go to Onshape. Let's say for some reason I want to make a cardboard sculpture of my happy face. So what I do is I come down here. If you have like 10 parts, you have to click Shift and click on all your parts. I only have one part. So as long as all your parts are blue, you're good. So I'm like, I'm going to select all my parts, and then I'm going to right click, and I'm going to say I'm going to export, and then you want to do it as an STL, and you want to change that to millimeters. And what else can I do with it? Download is good. And then I'm going to hit export. And then on this one, I'm going to show it in the folder. I'm going to I'm going to click on it, give it a better name, and then I'm going to move that into my folder called Cardboard Sculpture. Okay. So then in Autodesk Inventor, I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Export. And then I'm going to mess around over here, waiting patiently. And then you're going to say, yes, I want to do, this is the thing I want. And then you're going to click on, double check for whatever reason. I didn't get everything. So if that happens, we're going to have to figure that out. I don't want to go into it here. Hopefully it's going to work. So then we're going to download it as an STL. And then you click OK, and then they're going to email that to you. They're going to email that file to you. So you're going to have to check that email. You're going to have to download it. And then once you download it, make sure you get it into the folder with your name on it. All right, so the next thing you're going to do is on the desktop, you're going to find, you're going to find this thing, Slicer for Fusion. Open it up, log in as you if you can. Actually, probably don't want to. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to say import, and you're going to scroll around, and you're going to find the folder. So cardboard sculpture, here it is, and hit open, and it's going to open up that 3D model into your project here. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is set it up for our laser cutter. So you're going to say, okay, what are we going to print it on? And you're going to say, I'm going to add a printer. So you're going to call this the laser. So you're going to click on it and type in laser. All right, so our laser is going to be in inches, and the length, this is kind of opposite what you think it would be. The length is 12, and the width is 24. Okay, and then the thickness, you need to go measure the thickness of your cardboard in inches with the calipers. Um, but the I checked the one I'm using, and this is actually pretty close. Okay, so then I'm going to hit done. All right, and then it's like, oh, it's still using letter. Okay, well, we got to choose that laser that we just picked. Okay, great. All right, and so then we're going to say we need to choose a construction technique. You can try different ones, but stack slices is a good one. Okay, and then I don't like the way they stack the slices on this. That's not really the way I would choose to do it. Actually, it looks kind of cool. Maybe I would do it that way. But let's try it a different way and see how it looks. So I'm going to go with the slice direction, and I'm going to change the slice direction to, let's drag this. No? Okay, so you want to click on whichever axis you want to rotate. Let's click on this and see if we can rotate it this way. Yeah, that's the way I want to do it. So let's try that. Yeah, well, I don't know which way. So you have to figure out which way you think is going to be best. I feel like this is going to be the strongest. Anyway, so you can see, what it's going to look like. So here's basically it's going to be two laser cut. It's going to be two pieces of cardboard, and then you're going to go together. Now, let's go to the next thing, and let's go to assembly steps. And so it's going to show you're going to have all these pieces, right? And you're going to go glue, 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 and it shows you, and you can see over here, it shows you which part. So when you get all the parts, that can be helpful to figure out how to actually glue it all back together. Okay. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. Now, how are we going to do this? Let's go ahead and get the plans. Okay, so it's actually 3 pieces of cardboard. Okay, so we're going to say EPS is good. We're going to export to my computer, and we're going to choose to go to B. Miller. We're going to go to Creative Computers. We're going to go to 3D Design. We're going to go to Cardboard Sculpture, and we're going to give it a name. We're going to call it okay, and we're going to save it. We're going to hit save. Okay, so now the final step is now we have to open that up into Adobe Illustrator, and we have to make a few changes before we do it. So we're going to go into Creative Computers. We're going to go into 3D Design. We're going to go into Cardboard Sculpture. All right, and so it's a zip file, so we have to right-click on it. We got to go to 7-zip and extract here. And then we have to hit the refresh if it doesn't show up. Okay, and so then we have our 3 files. So let's double click on this one. Oh, actually, I want to open that up in Adobe Illustrator. So you can right click and say open with Adobe Illustrator, or you can open Adobe Illustrator and open it from there. But the trick there's a few tricks to get it to where it's going to work, because it sets it up with the wrong colors. So let's go ahead and get that going. All right, so Adobe Illustrator is opened up here. Let's open it up all the way. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to click on this thing and hit Alt to zoom out, and then I'm going to move it around here. Where's the hand? Grab the hand and move it around. Okay, so so you can see everything showed up correctly here. That's good. If it didn't, what you might have to do is click on everything, Control A, and you might have to like try to rotate it if it didn't show up right. But at any rate, it did, so it's good. All right, so you can see the stuff that's supposed to be a red cut is blue, and the stuff that's supposed to be a blue etch is red. So we have to flip-flop it. But because we can't flip-flop it directly, we're gonna have to change the blue to green, the red to blue, and then the green back to red. We need an intermediate step. Okay, so but the problem is if I click on it, it clicks on everything. So that's a problem. So I have to go Object, Ungroup, Object, Ungroup. Okay, it's already ungrouped. Okay, so then let's click on something that's blue. And so I want to select all the blue. So I'm going to go select everything that's the same stroke color, or I could say fill and stroke. Okay, so I selected all the blue stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to make sure that it's RGB. and which it is, and then I'm going to change the stroke. I'm going to say, let's make it all green. Okay, and then we need to make the stroke 0.001 and hit enter. Okay, so now we've adjusted all the blue to green. So now we're going to do the same thing to the red. We're going to click on one red thing. So we'll click on one thing that's red. Okay, and so we're going to go select everything that has the same fill and stroke. So now we've selected all the red. So we're going to come up here and we're going to say, let's make this all blue. We're going to make it all blue, and in the same way, we're going to make it all 0.001. Okay, so that's going to be, those are going to be nice etches. Okay, so now that we have the red, or the blue is correct, now we got to change this green stuff to red. So we're going to click on one of the green things. We're going to go select same, and we're going to say select the same fill and stroke. Okay, so now we've selected everything that's green, and we say, okay, let's make these all red. Okay, 255, and they're all 0.001, so we're all set. So now we're all ready to cut it out. So now you can save this, and you can go okay, so we're going to save our changes, click OK, and now this one's ready to be laser cut. Make sure when you go to laser cut that you turn on the air compressor, and you turn on the fan. All right. So now, but you do that with, there's 3 of them, so you do that with all 3 of them and go laser cut. All right. Thanks, guys.